All right. I'm Michael Matthews. I'm running he, him are my pronouns. I'm running Alien Chariots of the Gods RPG with Gauntlet Hangouts. Um, I am the game mother for this particular one. If we want to, we could kind of go um, straight down to how our characters are and the character thing, going from uh, Captain Miller, then Pilot Davis, then our two uh, Kayla Rye, Liren Sham, and then John J. Wilson. You all want to introduce yourself and your character?
Yep. Hey, I'm John. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Captain Vanessa Miller, she, her, who I guess she's still a captain, even though we lost the Montero, but that's okay.
I guess I'm next. Hi, I'm Laura, she, her pronouns. I'm playing pilot Leia Davis, she, her pronouns also. Pretty new to the game, so yeah, excited to be here.
Okay, I am Terry Batley. I am playing Kayla Rye. Her pronouns are she, her, and they, them. And I am the kind of muscle and medic of the team. And ran into a bit of trouble last time.
Hi, my name's Tom. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Lyron Cham, or just Cham, who pronouns are also he, him. Yeah, so Cham's the actual muscle of the group, and he's pretty much only the muscle. So he's currently the one wielding the laser cutter, and has run out of oxygen in his suit, and he has only got like 2 charges left on the laser cutter. So it's starting to look a little bit dicey.
And I'm Brian, he, him, and I am playing John Wilson, the corporate liaison.
All right, and we went over veils and lines at the beginning, where veils are harm to children, sexual content and torture, lines, racism, sexual assault, pandemics. At any point, if anyone wants to X card something, either an X in the window, I find that the putting an X in the chat in Roll20 tends to work better, as it's the blinking for Zoom does not kind of pop up as much. So I know I've got usually the Roll20 map. And I may have like a thing of notes in front of it for part of it, but I will see that usually before the other one. We can also retcon, do rewinds and such, or fast forwards as necessary as well. And do we want to fill? Especially we had Laura was our Leah Davis was the pilot on the Montero when you all woke up last time, and Leah was on the Montero during just about everything that happened. After not too long after they woke up, you are now on board another ship, and there you all want to explain what happened last time.
We boarded what we were hoping was a salvage ship, and you stayed back to that we could tether between ships, and unfortunately things started to go badly on our ship for you, and you weren't able to get things under control. So our captain came back to get what we needed from the ship, and you assisted our captain off with the stuff, and we were able to manually unhitch the tether from the other end, and then our ship kind of went out and exploded. And while that was all happening, me and a few others were exploring on the salvage ship, and we have found some strange creatures in jars. One of them exploded from one of the people that woke up's head. And we've now woken up what's left of the crew that we're aware of. And I think if anyone wants to add anything, that's what I can remember.
I know when we woke up, we were off course of where we were supposed to be. I think we know that this is a science vessel that was lost like 70 some odd years ago.
Yeah, it's been more than 70 years.
Trying to think anything else.
So this ship, the Cronus, is not actually, if I recall correctly, it's not actually in like proper flight condition at this point as well. Its reactors damaged, I think, and the air scrubbers. It's basically on like the last bones of life support.
Yeah, the stuff that you're aware of, because with the essentially when everyone goes into hypersleep, the mother just shuts down all the non-vital functions. Which so when you came up, like the air scrubber, like the air was like heavy with sort of carbon dioxide, and when mother activated shortly after, that's not getting fixed. Like it should be at a point where it's fine to kind of let CO2 levels go down before other people are woken up because no one's around and about. It has not gotten better. So I think is everyone still in their compression suits?
I think everyone but Cham, right?
Yeah, Cham's and those. It's like it's possible to breathe. It's just a little difficult. It's the air is sort of just thick and hard. If you guys make a stamina roll, you get like a negative on the like a -2.
But we have been told that the person whose head exploded didn't receive the inoculation against the airborne contagion that Cham is now theoretically exposed to.
Theoretically, yeah.
Possibly.
We don't know for sure. Yeah, there was some damage to the bridge of this ship. The reactor's down. The FDL is damaged and needs to be repaired. And then yeah, the CO2 scrubbers need to be replaced or swapped out or whatever. But in theory, we should be able to get the ship operational.
Yeah. So at this point, Leah or Davis and Miller, you have just piloted in. So you were taking this the tetrine. This basically this element that as it decomposes becomes helium-3, which is a very expensive fuel. And normally it's volatile enough. It's normally carried like literally behind the ship, almost like a semi-step. Like it's where if something goes wrong, it can actually detach and let parts of it go. You were doing a short jump with some in the cargo hold. One of the things you had though to help get that from your ship onto on the surface, particularly if you're going like the area the world you're going to had an atmosphere that the ship doesn't do great in. Is you had a ship that could basically ferry the stuff down. So when Miller came in and grabbed some stuff, then you put stuff on autopilot while the rest of them actually decoupled the walkway that had been brought out to hook up these two ships. And then you flew it in, but to fit into the cargo bay because of the size of it, you essentially crashed into the cargo bay on an angle. Like it's taken a good bit of damage. The cargo loader that you flew in, but you managed to get in with this loud screech as it comes in. And you got like, the sides of it and part of the top just screeches along the metal of their cargo bay that was not made for, because it's a science ship. It's not made for like big honking things that will be brought in and out. So currently, you two are just landed in the cargo bay, and we have everybody else up in deck A. I think still by cryo. Yeah. The Montero has exploded, and it got far enough away that the Kronos was not caught in that. but you are now on a ship that you have to, at this point, kind of repair some stuff, check what what's working, what's not, but knowing that so much damage was done on the bridge between the fire and the axe that was in one of the consoles, like just figuring out what you need to do is going to take a little bit of time. And you've got the other crew is kind of slowly getting their kind of Bambi legs around them as they are. They've got a bad case of just hypersleep sickness because they have been out for so long. So what do y'all do? Because I'm assuming you probably hear the screech as the power loader the power loader just slams into the cargo bay.
So Cham's gonna just sort of head straight down junction A.
Okay.
And head straight.
You want to mute?
Champ's going to head straight down through Junction A through to, I think the next floor is, we can only get to C2 from there. Is that right? And then I'd have to go, I'm not quite sure how that layout works, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where's the way down?
Yeah, it's either at that point, best thing there is you go on that takes you to the catwalk. What is that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what's that Y there? That kind of looks like that should be kind of.
That's engineering. That's engineering there. So I think.
Yeah, there are from Junction 2. There are some steps down because you've got the catwalk that's over the cargo bay.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, there are some steps if you look over them like on the sides, like left and right. These are ones that are not on the one on the C deck, but we will. It makes sense that they're there.
Yeah. Cool.
James going their way. We've got Ryan Wilson still up in, still up by the cryo, and Miller and Davis. Remember, Davis, you have not been on the ship for this stuff, so you have not had a whole lot of communication from them because they've been using some of the in-ship communication with each other.
And I'm gonna go start working on the scrubbers because I know Jam needs as little exposure to whatever's in the air as possible at this point.
All right. Let me.
I'm trying to remember. Did the where are my notes? Okay. So who's? It was the scientist whose head exploded.
Yes. It was.
Right.
It was one of the ones that made the scientist, the doctor, made the inoculation.
Right. So Cooper had made the inoculation, given it to everyone, but not to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the medic Flynn, did they have an inoculation on them or something? They had
in the body you pulled out. There was actually an inoculation because like he was
left
going,
on.
yeah, he was freaking out, going, we took that. Oh my god, we took that. But then when he went through the pockets,
there was one left on.
Yeah, because he hadn't taken it.
Cooper. Should we give that to Cham? And also, our air is going to run out. Is there a way to recharge the air in our suits, or can we get more of these inoculations? I guess is.
Some of it'll depend on how good things are as far as like on this ship, and you've got to find places to sort of hook them up. It does take some time. It's not a quick charge.
Yeah, so Captain Miller's currently holding that inoculate, and having returned from a mad dash to grab other hopefully useful supplies from the Montero, I think she like hops on the comms on the Cronus and starts asking like, okay, what's the status with the Cronus crew? Are they starting to come to? I think we've got to get some more information about what's going on and just try and come up with some sort of a game plan. This is apparently now our new home.
And all of
they're suffering from the sickness, Captain, and it's going to take them a while to really be any huge coherence from what I'm seeing at this point. But we can get what information we can out of them by questioning them when we need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back up to where they're at in the cryo chambers, because I want to ask more about these spores and figure out, like, is Cham currently breathing them? Do we need to inoculate him? What happens when the rest of us run out of air?
Well, Cham, you as you make your way down, you kind of hop over to the. Remember, the science labs are deck B.
Oh yeah. I could just check out the science labs on the way down and see if there are any more, like, anything else left around.
Okay.
So, Kayla, we know Kayla's gone through the med lab. Is that right? From what I recall, that was where we found, like, the
very
dust.
Quickly.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, this Cham could look in there again as well, but no, I think Cham will, like, because he would have left before the captain got back, so he wouldn't have realized about the thing there. He's probably looking for another one on in Science Lab 1, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Science Lab 1, as you go in, as it kind of opens up, that the lights sort of flicker on, and just like the stench of decay hits you like a wave. As you sort of look in, there's like a pile of bones that look like they've been gnawed on them. There's like an enclosed decontamination area on the main table itself, and you can get closer to see what's like underneath the hood for it. There's a deep cold freezer that's got a smashed glass door, a little bit further back. Yeah, it's as you sort of come in, it's looking a little rough in here.
Okay. Is there anything like that I can easily glean about what we're facing from here, aside from, like, is there anything to, like, investigate, so to speak, in here?
Well, as you sort of come in, you also notice sort of like in some places on the floor and walls, like as you also look a little bit, you can see that in that busted out freezer, there are these like metallic urns, and this black ooze has seeped from it, and you're seeing like these what look like bunches of mold are kind of attached to the wall in several places.
Oh, great. Just great. Fantastic. Okay. Jam's going to, like, cover his mouth and just sort of back out of there and sort of say, if we've got comms of any sort, we'll say, okay, do not check out the science labs. That is definitely where this mold originated from. These so-called, these quote-unquote spores. Do not come into here. That is a bad place. And I think he'll move straight out across to Science Lab 2.
There's some in the med lab too.
Yeah,
Okay.
your thing. I think what you saw, I think, was not on the wall itself, but he's looking at stuff that's out.
But there was definitely spores I noticed in the med lab.
Yeah, Science Lab 2, you come in and kind of like, I don't know, were you on the bridge?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, they may have mentioned it, but the room itself, something exploded or had a good amount of fire in this place. There was it looks like an incinerator or two have been used in here. You've got like a burnt out partial remains of a drum of some kind in there. You can see like a body. Take one stress. There is a body that is shriveled up in it that it was clearly where the fire hit.
Just a shriveled husk of a corpse. Okay, lovely.
Yeah, and a lot of the rest of it looks like it's been overturned and demolished.
Okay. As I'll move over to the med.
Okay, we'll kind of pop over here for a bit. So the air scrubbers for Kayla.
Yep.
All right. I mean, the nice thing about a lot of ships is there's a lot that's sort of identical in the way they're made, partly to make it a whole lot easier for things repairs and stuff. Particularly because occasionally they've got to, like, if you're broken down in places, you want the next ship coming by to be able to fit you with some spares if they've got it. So there's a large shaft that you can get through, like the ventilation and maintenance shaft. And normally you would hear like the air scrubbers going. And essentially, there's like a large pool of water that's got like electricity going through it that's partly used to make things work. So at this point, yeah, like the shaft itself is dark. As you kind of like go through the flashlight, you can look down there and see that the water at the bottom is frozen. Like essentially, once the scrubbers just come on, it'll warm it up. At least the top of the water will melt, and you can actually start this going again. But as you're looking, it's a bit difficult to get in there, and it's going to take you a while to get it fixed. Grab some stuff and go at it.
Yeah, we need it.
All right. So go ahead, and it's going to require a shift of work, which means it's going to be about roughly 8 hours. I don't know if you're going to end up having somebody help, but it'll be a heavy machinery roll when you do. You'll have to grab some tools and stuff. So this might be something that here in a little bit, once people decide like what's the damage they need to do, you'll be able to kind of come here and get some work done.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll go start grabbing what I need.
All right. As I said, a lot of the equipment is kept sort of not too far from there. So you're able to grab some of the tools and stuff you need. What are other people doing?
And I'll let the captain know what I'm doing.
Yeah, if I can still, I know they're like kind of still out of it and groggy, but if I can question what was the captain's name for this ship?
Captain for this ship is
Johns?
Yeah, Johns. Actually, not the captain. This is the second. This is the second officer.
Okay.
Captain did not make it.
Okay. But his name is Johns. Okay. I want to ask specifically about these spores. Is it in all of the air, or is it this mold that we found? And if we stay away from that, like, what do they know about it?
Oh, he kind of looks at he's coming out of it a bit. Just the scientists knew a lot more about it than we did, but they took off. They kind of checked it on the planet. As far as I know, if you breathe that stuff in, you're in some danger. But we got the inoculation for it.
Were you directly exposed to the mold, or they just gave it to you, to everyone, just because?
I gave it to everybody because we didn't know who was infected. Because people, I mean, they just started to change when it happened. It was.
Did they tell you anything about if you need the inoculate, well in advance, or is it? I guess it's if a thing starts crawling out of your head, it's probably too late to take it at that point. I'm guessing.
And their medic at that point just goes, it was created as quickly as we could, and we gave it to everybody on the way out just to make sure that we didn't end up turning into those things.
Okay, I'm going to go on like suit intercoms or ship intercoms at this point and say like Cham, I think you need to go ahead and take this. I don't think we can risk whatever the hell that thing we saw earlier forming in you, and we're just going to figure it out before the rest of us run out of air as well. Yeah. But you're already out of air, so we've got to at least take care of you, and then we can figure out what we need to do to get the ship up and running. And we also need to figure out how we're going to deal with that thing, because it's still somewhere on the ship. So Cham, where are you at?
I would be in the med bay. It's a quick question. Would there be like any used or discarded syringes or things in there at all?
In the med bay?
Yeah, in the med bay.
You said under what there?
So like these, this dosage of this inoculation, would there be anything that resembles that in the med bay?
Yeah, if you want to go in the med lab and start looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
med lab, that's also on.
On deck two, decks.
Yeah,
deck B,
it's
sorry.
on
Yeah.
deck.
And Flynn actually knows at one point he's still up in there. He's like, we should get we should get all of you inoculated just in case. There should be more in the med bay.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
why do you say so sooner, Flynn? I'm over here sweating bullets.
He just goes, I'm guessing we're in massive hypersleep sickness that which no one's ever seen before. We're coming out of it, but it's not easy.
No one likes a smartass, Flynn.
Because if we can go down there and grab some stuff. But I will say, Cham will get there a little bit before because you're kind of already on the move. What are Wilson and Davis doing?
There's more down at the very bottom of deck A.
Mhm.
There's EVA suit storage. I want to check those to just see if there's extra air tanks or anything.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if there's extra air tanks, cool. I think last session I gathered whatever suits I could find from there and brought them out into Cryo 3. I
thought that was from down on deck B. There were
so that was Rye. Rye took a few of them and lifted all of them up through the stairwell, along with all of the medical gear that she found last time. But I think I got Cham to check out the stuff on deck A and bring whatever extra was needed to give everyone else.
I don't think you were at the EVA storage for deck A. Were you somewhere else?
Over here.
Okay, I think it was.
If you made a note, how many compression suits do you have?
I guess the life support's on like minimum, so all these the crew that was waking up, we were trying to get suits for them, but I guess
life support is coming back on with Mother coming back on.
Okay.
But the there's problems with the air scrubbers at the least. You gotta probably fix some stuff on the bridge before you have a better idea of what else is fixed and what is not.
Sure. So if all the crew that was in hypersleep or whatever, they don't need the air from those suits. I guess I'm checking all those suits to see if they have air that we can replenish.
When you go here, you're gonna find there's still 3 compression suits that are in good shape.
Like, can we like swap out the air from those with our suits?
Or literally just swap the suits.
Well, I don't want to take the suit I'm wearing off to get into a different suit right now.
A lot of the things, the air stuff is sort of built in, so it's
Okay.
a little difficult to remove.
Okay.
And then Leah Davis, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, we crashed into the vehicle bay, right? Like,
Oh yeah, the power loader that you basically like the skiff kind of thing that you use to go in there, it's done. Like it fit barely at an angle like that.
okay, is there any damage to this area that needs to be taken care of? Or like, is that not our immediate focus right now? Are we trying to get the bridge up and running?
There's some damage to the cargo bay. However, it's a thing that would require like some refit stuff. Because one, you've got a big ship stuck in the back of it. Like the fact that you flew in was a little bit of a miracle.
Right, yeah. No, so I think that I'm probably just gonna look around and see if there's any equipment that I think might be useful, and then maybe try to make my way up to the bridge area and see if there's anything up there that I can help with.
Okay. I will say, like, you kind of look around here. They've kind of scavenged some of the stuff they could. Up on the bridge, like as you go through and you pass places where there was clearly like things fighting. There's some damage. I'm trying to remember last time. Did you? I think you blew apart the blood burster with a shotgun last time.
Yes, I did.
Yep. Yeah, you saw like the just this like uh, greenish blood, not acid, that was like blown apart on it. But yeah, in the bridge itself, when you get there, there was a fire that took place in part of it. There's an axe in one of the pilot's consoles. The other one's taking some damage. Like you're not sure exactly what the hell happened here, but like the holographic display table, which is so much nicer than anything you had on your ship, is completely looks like got hit with a flamethrower. But like what's in here is going to require some repair before you can kind of check all the systems. That's going to be one of your problems right now. I forgot to write it down. I couldn't remember because I thought let me look back at the rolls because I thought you had killed it, but maybe you hit it and it fled.
Yeah, I thought you said it had very minimal hit points, so that even with the damage I had done, because it still got through, it was dead.
I think it may have because it got hit twice. I think the close combat roll where it got hit. So yeah, I got the two. I think it was technically one success, and then the shotgun bonus two. Yeah, it was kind of weak enough that I think I kind of whiffed on most of the GM when I rolled the base dice for it. Pretty sure it died, but that's what I'm remembering. All right. So before the others get to the med bay, Cham, I think where's the med bay at?
That bay is on deck
B?
B.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
You'll be able to get there before the others do. As you kind of pop in.
Mm-hmm.
So the med bay itself.
Mm-hmm.
Easier to go this way. Okay. Was that med bay or med lab? Yeah, med lab.
Med lab, yes.
Yeah, as you kind of go in, there's two of the older generation, like the Pauling med pods. And you can put someone in, it can do some surgery and some other stuff. Yeah, I think someone had been in here last time, right?
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah,
that was
right.
right.
But yeah, as you look through, one of them got splintered from the outside. You've got the other one has got like what looks like thick dried blood on the inner surface of it. You got those rows of large specimen jars, two of which are floating. You see the small alien creatures like the ones that you saw come out of Cooper. On the far shelf, you've got a smaller specimen jar. There's no liquid, but it's got like that mold sort of spore thing that you saw in the other room. And then you've got like you've got like the metallic urn, which I don't think. Do you remember what you had grabbed from there, Rye?
I was carrying the suits at the time, and I went in there to see if there was any med kits, and
Yeah.
so I grabbed what med kits I could with the suits.
All right. So, Cham, are you trying to do like a quick check before anybody else shows up?
Yeah. I'm looking specifically for these syringes or what have you, whatever it was.
Make an observation roll.
I'm so good at that. Yeah, here we go. No modifiers?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. You will succeed in finding something, but go ahead and make a panic roll.
Panic roll. Is that just here we go. 11.
Good. So, yeah, as you're going through, you actually do manage to find a Draconis. There's underneath the desk, there's a med case that says 26 Draconis strain on it. When you kind of click it open, you look in, you see the same vials that you saw that Cooper had in his pocket.
Strain.
And as it happens, the door opens. You freak out. You have to rush for cover. Are you underneath the desk as the other ones walk in?
No, I whip up the laser cutter. I drop the case and whip up the laser cutter and like.
Well, the panic roll was seek cover.
I'll see cover. Okay, so yeah. So I'll like throw some junk up out the way and be like, and just try and get out the way as quick as I can.
And who else was going down there?
Miller was.
Yeah, Miller and Flynn. Yeah. And Flynn kind of went with you if you allowed him to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Sam, whoa. It's just us, man.
Sorry, Captain. This is a tense situation. I'm freaking out a little bit.
It's all right. Understandable. Did you find anything before you started throwing things around, or?
Yeah. There's if you look under the desk there, there was a thing, and I'll just point in the direction of the case that we found.
For the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, Flynn goes to it, or you left it down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Flynn goes to it, kind of puts it up, looks at it and goes, they're still here. These are the inoculations we took. And he pulls out these syringes and goes, you should probably have these too.
You did read the case, right? It said strain, Draconis strain?
Yes,
like
this is the inoculation from the 26 Draconis strain.
Huh, okay. All right.
This is what Cooper didn't take. That's why he changed into them, because I'm sure we were all exposed to them by the time they got on the ship.
No problem.
Yeah, and I'll pull out the one inoculate that I'm holding that they had found earlier, just to hold it up to the other and compare. It looks like the same substance and the same, syringe storage and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go over the radio, say, hey, we found the inoculates. I think we each need to take this. We don't need any more heads exploding. So either come to the med lab and grab one, or I can bring one to you.
You bring mine up, Captain. I'm trying to keep working here.
Yeah. You stay focused on that. We're gonna need better air to breathe, so I'll bring one up to you.
Leah, if you can give me a contact roll.
Captain, I'll go up and help Rye with the scrubbers. So you give me one for each of us, and I'll go and make sure that that's taken care of.
Good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and head down to the med bay.
I think that I will also follow suit.
Hey, Leah, just do me real quick. Do a contact roll. This is while you're on the bridge. And some of the computers are coming on. You'll be able to check systems.
I'm rolling combat, you said?
Or comtech.
Oh, comtech. No modifiers?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, as you're going through, make a panic roll real quick.
All right, sounds good. Trying to find the panic. Where is that on the character sheet?
Oh, I think up towards middle top. There's like base die, panic roll.
Yeah, it only says panic under like 1d3, 1d6.
Yeah, you're fine. Your heart jumps a little bit. The same sort of the same sensor ghost, because you had a sensor ghost before you left, and it even kind of pinged once while you were after the Kronos after they kind of boarded the Kronos. There's still a same sort of sensor ping hits on there, but as far as the rest of it, you're kind of looking through, going, there's enough differences because this is a high tech enough ship that it's going to take you a little bit of time to sit down and kind of actually go through it. But right now, by the time you get called, you don't have enough time to kind of do a deep dive on it. The one thing you do see though, here's what's got to have to be fixed, just from a quick glance over it. The comm array is down, and that would require a spacewalk to get fixed. The engines themselves also require like external repairs, um, and the reactor control room will probably also need to be like there's not a lot of power from what is there coming through, and of course the air scrubbers. These are the things that are like lit up as part of the problem of what's happening on the ship right now.
Quick question: is all of this stuff heavy machinery to repair?
Yeah, just I mean, yeah, most of these things. Comtech for the comm array.
Okay.
So the comm array will require Comtech. Engines are heavy machinery. Air scrubbers are heavy machinery.
With it, I remember like specifically the FTL was not working. Is that included in the engines, or is that a separate?
It's the engines.
The reactor, yeah.
So who like does everyone get an injection of the Dakota strain of the inoculation?
Yeah, so I'll head up and I'll give the
Sure, why
a
not?
vial to
Okay. And you said you were giving that to Rye? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Tim was bringing mine up.
All right. So at that point, we get people. You've got the others from the Kronos themselves. They are starting to kind of get their feet underneath them. And again, you've got like Albert Johns, who's our second officer. You've got Valerie Reed, who's a Colonial Marine. Their medic, Liam Flynn, and Lori Clayton, their company agent. They've still got some kind of blank spots from stuff that they've got, but yeah, at this point, there's at least some work to do here. I know we got Rise will be working on the air scrubber. Is anybody helping there?
Yeah, Jem will help with the escrow.
I am curious if I can maybe assist with the comms array work. You said it's a spacewalk, so maybe I can help out by, assisting from the inside to like monitoring things and
Do that.
helping that way. Because I think Davis is probably the better person to actually go do the Comtech work.
I have Comtech. I'm not
Oh,
great at it, but I have it.
I have a 3.
A 3 in Comtech.
Yes.
I have 1 in Comtech with a 3 in wits.
All right. So yeah, right now I'm showing Cam and Rye on air scrubbers. What's everyone else doing?
I think I might go head down and look at the engines, see what I can do there.
Okay.
That's heavy machinery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 1. It's something, but
Well, actually, the part of it inside, the heavy machinery is on the outside, but the there's some context stuff that you can do in the engine room because to get just some of that, the power flowing because like the power you're getting shouldn't be, it should be a little stronger than what's coming out of there.
okay.
So it'd be the reactor core
Mm-hmm.
down here.
Looks like Davis is checking out the reactor core.
Yeah.
And who else is doing that? Leaves Don Wilson.
I mean, if repairing the comms is outside the ship, I'm not doing that until I've refilled the air on my suit.
Okay. That won't take too long. And also engines. Yeah, both the engines and the comm array would be a spacewalk. Engines are heavy machinery, and the comm array would be a Comtech.
Okay. Where would I recharge the air on my suit?
For those ones, it'd be easiest just to switch the suits from one of the ones they've got there.
That's true.
You check through; they're still in perfect condition.
Okay, I guess now that I'm inoculated, I can switch into a new suit and I can go try to repair the comms.
It'll have a supply of five air.
All right.
Jam, are you doing the same?
Yeah, sorry. 1 second. Would it be better if I do this roll? Or because I have a 5 in strength and 3 in heavy machinery.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be better if I was assisting you.
Yeah, okay. So I can do that then. I'll modify 1.
So we'll say this quick. With the air scrubbers themselves, so stuff has started to kind of warm up, which is helping. Let me pull those up again.
I'll wait for this roll until you say so.
Yeah. So as you kind of go in there, one of the problems in there is you also see that there's just like literal decades of grime and mold have grown on them because these things are not designed to be like 6-8 months at a time is kind of what it's used to. It's been 75 years. It's going to take kind of a good amount of work to get on there, get those carbon filters cleaned or replaced in order to get it going again. But you do see in some of them, as you kind of go in, you do see some of those same, like the mold that you saw downstairs in the science lab. You do see some of those growing on parts of the scrubber.
Oh, great. Okay. That's quite bad. I'm going to report that. I'm going to yell that out to Jem, not to Jem, to Rai. Say, put that on comms. Actually, like there's a bunch of this mold inside the scrubber shaft. It's real bad. Like I don't actually know how easy that's going to be to clean at all.
Is it a terrible idea for us to burn it? I brought the incinerator from the Montero.
Well, the scrubbers themselves will take it.
Yeah, we'd know that for sure. Okay, we could do it. I mean, imagine that's how they would actually clean them. They would just get like a high temperature and just incinerate any organic material inside the shaft. So, or like a solvent of some sort. Okay, could try it. And I'll say that over comms. It's worth a shot. What would be? We would probably do it from the top and just.
Yeah, I'll just say go ahead and make a supply roll.
Supply.
For the incinerator. What is the supply on the incinerator?
It said 2 reloads.
Oh, 2 reloads.
2 reloads.
Yeah, so in this case, it's not really a ranged combat, but just go ahead and make a ranged combat roll with it, just to kind of burst it out. And I'm looking to see if you run out of certain of some of its ammo. Froze up for a second.
Now, do we only have one of these?
I think we only had one on the Montero, and I don't know that we've found one on the Cronus. I don't know if this ship would typically have one or not.
There's an armory, but I don't know that we've checked it. Did anyone check the armory yet?
I don't think we have.
No.
You check with the captain, and you're all going to check on that before you go back to the scrubbers.
Yeah, if we have another one, I think it might go quicker. That's all I'm thinking. So.
Okay. And yeah, for John, what was Wilson doing?
Well, I was going to try to repair the comms, I guess, but
Okay, you're doing the spacewalk.
sure.
Cool. Yeah, if you want someone to go with you, you could grab someone from the Cronus.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean the best one there is Reed, the Colonial Marine. Nice thing is got some stuff with heavy machinery. Doesn't know a lot about Comtech, but one of the good things is very good at like holding some of the stuff in place because she's strong.
Sounds good.
All right, she kind of suits up and goes with you, and looks like the rest of you are checking out the armory to see if you can find another incinerator. And we'll go to Leah. So the reactor room.
Yeah.
So as you head down, like the only lighting itself that's coming from in there as you go in is there is like the access port of the reactor relay. There's like a dull pale blue that is throwing shadows and such on the wall, and like something has torn up a lot of the furniture and other things and loose equipment. And as you kind of go in, there is like a nest sort of in front of the reactor shielding. Like all this stuff has been kind of gathered up, and in it lies this like crumpled up spacesuit, helmet mostly like fogged, and it looks like it may have been set on fire at one point. There's some sort of like yellow white resin covering most of this chamber. And like as a quick look before you kind of go in, like this looks like what part of the problem is.
The nest or the resin?
With the resin, the nest stuff is maybe not helping, but the stuff that's all over it, it's got to gunked up the rest of it, which is not looking kind of good.
Do I hear any like scuttling happening from like by the nest? Is anything in here? Like,
Make a mobility roll to see how quiet you are as you're sort of checking.
okay.
Would you like to? Would you like to push that roll? It looks like you got no successes.
No, I did not.
You can add one stress and then roll again.
All right, yeah, I'll do that. So I'm just re-rolling mobility.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, as you go in, like as you kind of come in, your foot kicks something, and you see suddenly like that spacesuit that's there. You kind of notice that part of it's ripped, like at the shoulders and a little bit at the elbows. As it comes in, it goes, as it looks up at you, make a panic roll. Actually, do add one to your stress level. Make a panic roll first, then add one to your stress level.
Okay.
All right, you keep your shit together. As this thing is just like you see, it's moving like a little bit slowly at first, and like these really long arms, like the fingers themselves seem like elongated and got some claws on them and like bone white. It starts to move. What do you do?
Can I step on it?
It's a human, well, a little bigger than human size.
Okay, I thought that it was on the floor.
Yeah, no,
Do I
yeah,
have-
it's the spacesuit looked crumpled up at first because part of it was in the nest. But then you see like the person's inside the spacesuit.
Oh, okay. Do I have any like weapons on me? How
You
does that work?
you most likely do not. They've had a couple that they found, but it's not part of your standard loadout, I believe.
Cool. Um, I guess, is there a way to like run out and then lock the door?
Um, yeah, I would if you want to try to lock it before it kind of gets to you. It might be able to make its way out at some point, but you can make a Comtech roll at a -1 because you will be scrambling to try to get that thing locked in.
Okay, so then it's -1.
Yeah. So what it'll do is it will take one of your base dice away.
Okay.
So as you kind of go and like as you make a panic roll and see what your current thing is. You cannot push it because it's got the So you kind of keep it together as you're trying to hit the stuff for it. It kind of like picks itself up. And so what I do with these, let me wait. Did I put a? I'm gonna do a separate one for this. Let me just. I'm gonna be here in a moment, rolling a d6 to see what it does. Oh, this must be in the book itself. Okay, so it tries to rush towards you to grab your head and then tries to crush it with its bare hands. So it's going to use its base dice. What you're going to do here in a moment is make a close combat roll to see essentially if you are able to. I think if Leah dies here, there are other people we can have you pop into. Let me pull up the. So I'm going to just roll base dice for. Oh, 7 base dice. Okay. Oh, and GM stuff I can't push. So as it reaches for you, it kind of like grasps at your head. You manage to sort of slip out, so it doesn't actually like get you. What do you do?
It's pretty close to me right now, right?
Yeah, it just almost grabbed you. It's in the doorway. You can kind of see inside like the broken, shattered thing. Like the face itself is elongated and is just this sort of like white, um, uh, almost a caricature of a human head. Like it's blown up in really unusual ways.
All right, yeah. I think that I'm going to try to kick it in the stomach to try to drive it back into the room.
Make a close combat roll.
Oh wait.
Okay. Yeah. So for that, because you said you were mostly trying to kick it back into the room.
Mm-hmm.
So normally, what you would be able to do with close combat is like one of it does damage, and then like you can spend any extra successes, like partly to like knock somebody off balance, stuff like that. However, your goal was to knock it kind of. So do you want to like use that to just knock it in the room to give yourself a little bit of breathing room?
Yeah, I
It's,
think
it's,
so.
yeah, so you're not going to do any damage to it as you kick it, but you do kick it backwards, and it's still kind of knocking off the hibernation. So as it trips and goes down into that nest, you've got yourself at least a turn before it extricates itself from it. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to close the door again.
Make your contact roll. Make one more panic roll. You managed to get it shut. Make a panic roll. So with the 9, Price doesn't do that. Price doesn't automatically tell you. Um, you're going to drop something you've got. You probably don't have much on you right now, do you?
I don't think so.
You do. You are going to have, however. Yeah. The pill bottle you've got actually falls out. It falls out of your pocket as you sort of get it done, and it's going to be unnoticed by you right now. It kind of locks, and then you see like the red appear on the thing where it is locked. And what do you do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make contact with the rest of my crew and just let them know there is a something in where are we? We're in the
Yeah. So right now you are on the sort of that right hand side on deck, towards the bottom of deck B.
Yeah. The reactor core. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Deck B.
Shouldn't it be deck C?
Deck C.
Deck
Sorry.
C on the
Yeah.
so
deck
bottom
C.
left.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, you run to where the junction is. It lets you take the ladder up because you have an intercom there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
All right. So at this point, I'm guessing also Wilson and them. You're probably suiting up because you've got like a little bit. You were switching stuff out, and she went down there pretty immediately. What do you tell them?
Guys, there's a thing in the reactor. Where is that? The reactor something.
Oh, reactor relay control.
The reactor relay control. It just fucking attacked me. Like, and I need to get in there to fix stuff, and nothing's happening unless we get that thing out of there.
And you hear a coming back from the doorway. Like, it sounds like it's hitting it hard enough that it might break through parts of it, but it's not happening right yet. What is everyone?
Can me and my marine head to the armory and see what we can find there before we head to?
Yeah, it could be possible. So as everyone hears this, yeah, a couple of you are like kind of rush towards the armory trying to find stuff there. But what do you do? I'm going to refill my drink real quick. I can hear you. But what do you do after she tells you you've got something else on the ship? What does everyone do?
Well, I'm thinking timing-wise, probably I'm still with Cham at that point, more
Yep.
than I would be
Yeah.
at the armory. So I would definitely be continuing to look for one of those wonderful weapons because it will
Didn't
do
you have-
twofold.
Yeah, didn't you have the shotgun? Or
I do, but I also know it barely did damage to a baby, one of those.
oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if you what's the deal here? So we could go down like the junction A or the stairwell itself, and go down to the armory. And
I think the armory actually got raided last time. I think that's where you got the
did
shotgun.
it? No,
No,
that
the
was different.
shotgun was from the corpse in the hallway.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So those who hit the armory.
So I'll go as well.
Okay. Wait, what, Ryan Cham going to the armory? Wilson I think Wilson might have been closer. Where was the air scrubber shaft?
So that's
Yeah,
on every level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get into it from the from deck A. So I think
Oh, okay.
Wilson, you were already on B. Did you say you were headed there?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember if that was
Basically,
you or.
Yeah, and Miller was headed up there as well. Do these junctions have like locking doors to them, or do they have ports of egress and ingress that can be closed, or is it just like an open shaft with a ladder?
Oh, the shafts up and down. Like in some of the rooms in the hallways, you can see there's doors there, and those can be locked. But those junctions, for the most part, it's a ladder going straight up and down.
Okay. So Miller will respond back to Leah and tell her to don't try to be a hero, but like try and keep it in the reactor area if you can, so we can head down there and see if we can deal with it. But like if it starts to break out, just get out of there.
Roger that.
Wilson, as you head into the armory, the place itself has been stripped almost bare. But as you look through, you do find a single Armat M41A pulse rifle with one reload left in it. So basically, it's got the it'll have one reload. So if you need to reload it once, you can. There's also a case of shotgun shells, which is like one reload on the floor. But part of it is, as you're kind of looking through and trying to see if there's anything there from some of the empty boxes and such, there's a spray of dried milky white spray spattered on one of the walls. It looks like it's been there for a very long time.
Okay. Is there a trail from that?
Nope, just a spray.
Well, something happened to the ship synthetic in here, I guess. I guess I will. I have our Marine with me, right? So I think I'd probably have him arm himself with the gun.
Yeah, she can go ahead and take the pulse rifle.
Yeah, and yeah, and I'll grab the shotgun ammunition just to give to because we have a shotgun. But yeah, and then let's head down to the reactor core.
Are we all going to fit in like the entrance to the reactor room, the reactor control relay, or is that going to be a crowded situation? But like,
you'd be able to get into the hallway out of it. I mean, it probably depends on what's happening in the thing. Yeah. So, Leah, are you? It can help if we put your thing over here. Where's your character token at? Oh yeah. So yeah, if you've gone to the, let me move you down to the lower left.
Yep. Ah.
All right. Yeah. So you probably gone to the junction to talk to them. Are you staying at the junction, or are you going back out into that hallway?
I think I'm going back out into the hallway just to make sure that it's staying where it should be.
There's a hit hard enough that you see part of the door buckle. Now you were not in the you were not in the docking collar when they attached to the Kronos, but they actually had to cut their way through the door because something had hit the door hard enough. It was from the outside that it actually buckled in the door, and the door the door leads the airlock are a whole lot more secure than doors inside the building. And you just hear, and that thing rocks on its hinges. You think it's got maybe 2 hits left before that door is at least open enough for something to get through.
Yeah. I don't suppose there are any dead bodies with any weapons lying around me, are there?
Nope.
Yeah. Figures. Yeah, I guess I think I'm going to prepare myself to get in a fight with this thing. Here we go.
Do you have any close combat abilities?
I don't think so. Let me check. But I have ranged combat and I have mobility. I do not have close combat.
Yeah, you have no combat training, and this thing is strong enough that it's punching through a metal door.
Yeah, so then maybe I might make an exit.
Okay. You heading up or down? Right here. I think you have to see. You have to head up because there's other places you can get on the catwalk to go down to the cargo bay. But here you could go up to like B deck.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head up to the catwalk just so that I can keep an eye on where this thing is.
So I think we've also got Cham and Kayla rushing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were rushing to the armory because we were looking for another
And you end up
gun,
running
but
into Wilson. What's Vanessa doing?
Oh, I also was headed for the armory. I was at the med lab prior.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like almost all of us meet up, basically.
Yeah, I'll hand the shotgun ammo to Kyla.
You'll get
anyone
another reload.
actually better with this thing than I am?
I have a 3 agility and a 1 in ranged combat.
Yeah,
Reed is with you, and she just goes, if this was one of the crew that got changed, some of them were like Cooper, where that thing came out of them, but others, their bodies change, and they're really strong and really angry.
like, how strong are we talking? As in, like, guns aren't gonna make a difference?
The guns can make a difference. It's just not always.
Well, it sounds like we don't have many options in this case. I will hand off the incinerator unit to Cham. And then start leading the way to down a level. So I guess taking Junction B2, heading down there and taking Junction B2 to go down.
So that's the M240 incinerator unit.
Yeah, and it's got 2 reloads.
So it looks like who had the shotgun?
Kayla.
Kayla still has a shotgun.
Okay. So does that give us 2 incinerators, or just the incinerator that that someone had?
It's the incinerator from the Montero.
Okay.
That we grabbed.
Yeah.
So weapon-wise right now, you've got Reed, the Marine, who's got the pulse rifle, a shotgun, and an incinerator. I think is that it in this particular group of folks?
And I have a service pistol.
Okay, the service pistol. Okay.
Actually, so I'm gonna get the Marine to lead. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Yeah, she kind of gets in front. She's a little slow still because she's still kind of coming out of all of it. You want to go through the junction B2, so you're heading like south in the ship and then down.
Yeah,
Right.
Unless someone suggests otherwise.
And I would say during this, let me pop some of these away real quick. So Wilson, during this, Lori Clayton, their company agent, their corporate liaison, kind of positions herself sort of near you, and then she's also still a little bit like she's coming back into it, but she's still a little out of it, and she just sort of reaches over and tugs on your sleeve a little bit, and then just gives you like a weight up.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah, I'm unarmed, so
yeah,
there's not much I can do to help them. So sure.
all right, so the rest of you start heading down. She slowly looks at you and she's like, "How much are you aware of what happened on the Kronos?" And this is after everybody leaves, unless someone stops. But it sounds like y'all got an alien to take care of.
The ship was out of contact for 70 years. We have no idea I have no idea what happened on.
They didn't have so no information's been kept. There's not an emergency protocol if you run into the Kronos because they knew what we were going to find.
Yeah, I mean, the research you were doing is clearly very valuable to the company. I know I'm supposed to get this, back. But as far as what went wrong here, no, I don't.
goes, so the thing that we need to do, our science team is gone. What we need to do is get not just some of the specimens, but our medic, Flynn. He knows enough about it that he might actually, that he will be useful and valuable. The scientists are all dead. He's the closest thing we've got. We get our information, we get him. I have an emergency escape vehicle, the personal one attached to the ship. If we can get them in there, the rest of this, it doesn't matter what happens here.
Okay, but how do we get back?
He goes, did you see my note, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she just goes, we set the signal on there, like once it goes out, if they knew what direction your ship was coming, so they would know where to look. We set our escape signal and we set a course. And emergency escape vehicles are actually something that's not unusual for the company agents to sort of have access to, sort of off their suite. Essentially, it's an escape pod with a transmitter that can be used in case of emergency and stuff has to get off for the company.
That's separate from the escape pods that we saw were all gone?
Yep. And very often you can only access it with the company agent's card and password. Like if shit goes to hell, the company agents usually have an escape, basically a way to escape.
Okay. So where on the ship is that?
Because it's in my suite.
Okay, got it. So the science module separated. Do we know where that is?
They were lost on what I remember, and it's fuzzy. They were lost on Draconis. Things got really bad down there.
Okay. Well, all right. And there's nothing else we need to retrieve from the ship to bring with us?
She goes, our big thing is if we get the supplies, if we get some of the samples of what we took, if we get Flynn, because he's the last one that has information, and we get other information that I've collected. They want some samples, but we don't need, like the spores themselves will be sample enough, and some of the things we have in some of the vials down there. The most important thing is we have to get those back. If we do, we are going to be rich beyond either of our imaginations.
There it is. I see. Got it. Okay. Well, let's get all that loaded into the so that we're ready to go. The second we have to.
All right, Leah, you can hear from downstairs, just, and then there's like something gives, and then you hear like a screech of sort of metal, and then like some scampering, and like you're up above on the catwalk, and you hear a doorway, like a door beneath you somewhere, like a door into the actual cargo bay. Something opens up. So wherever it went, it is now well, sorry, it wouldn't be in that place. It does go through some doorways. The rest of you, as you were heading down junction C2, What do you do?
Who's leading the way here?
Um,
It was the Marine.
the Marine.
Yeah, she
Right,
just kind of when she gets to the ladder, and she's like, "Someone cover me!" And then she looks and she goes, "And not with the incinerator." She goes,
Yeah, and sorry, I'll cover her from the top with the service pistol.
and she kind of makes her way down, and then gets boots down on the floor there, and it's just kind of like got the rifle, and just sort of peers out and goes, "It's gotten through the door. Where's your other person?"
Um, we're still in our suits, right? So we've still got like inter-suit communications, right?
No, I think the ones who use the communication on the thing, because I don't think they had a lot of suit communication. Did they in this? Remember if they say if they
I thought the compression suits had communicators, but I might be wrong. Might be wrong.
let me check on that because the it does have a comm unit. So yeah, anyone who's wearing one, which I think is it still everybody?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
So I'll go over the suit comm unit and ask Davis. Davis, we're at the C2 junction. Where are you at? We don't see you or the alien.
Up on the catwalk. I think the alien. It's no longer here. I lost it, sir. My apologies.
Hey, but as long as you're still alive. Do you have a clear sight back to the junction? Should you come join us?
I'll be there in a jiff.
And I suppose I'll start making my way down to C2 as well, and just stay as Overwatch with the Marine.
Okay.
In case anything pops out, but wait for Davis to make her way back.
All right. Yeah. So
And,
you come through the door. Make a mobility check just to see how quiet you are.
All right.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead and make your panic roll.
she didn't get a face hugger.
Oh, yeah, then never mind panic roll. You got 2 successes. Yeah, I saw the panic die. Yeah, you're good and stealthy. Yeah, you make your way kind of back in.
And I'm gonna ask the group over comms, like, okay, well, we regrouped. We've got what firepower we know about. I've got a motion tracker. I mean, do we try and go chasing after this thing, or what do y'all think? Do we, maybe play defensive, wait for it to come to us? What was your experience with it, Reed?
She goes, tough as hell. Managed to burn a few, shoot some. Fights got bad, but we made it.
Did you usually take it to them, or did you wait for them to come to you?
There was a few of us Marines that were part of it. Oh, there's a few of us Marines who were part of it. Most of them got chewed up kind of early. I made it through, and I wasn't. For the most part, we tried to shut ourselves away as much as possible. We went into the cryo chamber thinking we could seal the doors, shut everything off. We were hoping the cold and the time would kill them. Apparently not.
I'm not liking the idea of this thing just running around free will. We've got a lot of work we've got to do on the ship to get it working, and we're gonna have to be too spread out for that. I kind of think I like, let's just go for it now. We try and track it down and take it out. Have that peace of mind.
right.
Is this one with Cam and Rye are still upstairs? Like are still on the ladder up above?
I
Yes.
think so.
I always
Yeah.
love that idea where you're just like, I ain't coming down there if I don't gotta.
Davis, did you see what way it went at all? Any ideas?
I think it went out this way, right?
It sounded like it came somewhat in your direction.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like basically, like it was headed somewhere that way. However, it's not. You weren't like sure about exactly where. Like you heard a door underneath you open that felt like it was coming in your direction, but then it wasn't. It wasn't the one that led to where they're at now.
Yeah, I think I portrayed that. I don't think my directions are very helpful, though. It went through a door in my general direction.
Okay, but we're
It's
pretty
not-
sure it is at least still on this deck. So, or that's where it was last heard. Sounds like.
Maybe Kayla and me can go down the other junction, and we'll try and corner it if that's possible.
Sure.
I think we're better together with the one motion tracker
Mm,
where we can try and find it ahead of us. If we
your
split
call,
up,
Captain.
yeah, if we split up, you're not gonna have any. You're gonna be totally blind out there. So I think we're better off sticking as a group. I'll work the motion tracker, following behind Reed, and then Kayla and Cham, Cam, y'all get down here, and y'all have got like the close range stuff, but it'll do some damage when we get up close to it. David, you don't have a gun, do you? But you know what, Davis, we left Wilson up in the armory. I think it's pretty secure. Do you want to go join him?
That would be amazing, sir. I would love some weapons.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any more weapons up there, but there's only one point of entry, so hopefully it's at least secure as long as this thing's down here. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Unless you're welcome to tag with us.
Suddenly, a gigantic man appears. They make him smaller. I'll get some of their crew on here as well.
Yeah, I think that Davis is probably going to stick with you guys for at least now. She's going to see this thing through. She's not one for running away and hiding, even though that's what she did last time.
She's not gonna hide. But wait, you should shut up. I said I wasn't gonna hide. Hey, so is Leah headed back up towards the armory? Or are you staying with them?
I'm saying.
Okay. Let's pop over to Wilson. Y'all, let me. Oh, here we go. Okay. For Clayton in there. It'll be gigantic for a moment. All right. So, as you go there, she uses her key card and lets you in. The room itself is it's spacious. One of the nice things is to be a company agent. Like I can't remember if on your ship you had a larger room, but this is going to be larger than most of them. Wardrobes and quarters quite spacious. The bed itself though is covered in blood, dried, old, like it's seeped in from a long time ago. The couch cushions stuffing has been all torn out. The furniture has been destroyed. She kind of comes in, goes to a little wall safe, boop, 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 opens up, and she pulls out a cube and then kind of goes into like this walk-in closet, opens it up, slides the thing, and there's a panel that opens up into the escape pod. And there's 3 cryopods in this escape pod. She goes in and she opens up a thing and kind of puts the cube in there, closes it and locks the container that she's in. There's a wet bar that looks like it's been cleaved in 2. Most of it's just been wrecked, and a couple bottles remain. She's like, we get Flynn. We get him into one of these cryo tubes. That with the other information I've gotten, if we can get a few of the samples, we take those home. We are rich. Will you help me?
Sounds like a plan. Let's get it done. The samples are in the science lab.
Yeah, we go to the science lab. Is it the science lab or the med bay? I'm not quite remembering which right offhand.
Ed Lab had some.
All right, let's get those squared away, and then we can worry about Flynn.
All right. Do I have? Where's Reed's? I'm just trying to find Reed's thing real quick. Okay. Reed's ginormous. All right. Yeah, she. The 2 of you make your way up there. All right. What are the rest of you doing?
Alien hunting.
Mm.
Okay. I'm guessing Flynn was probably sort of med lab, or maybe possibly even stayed up. Well, right now we'll play some sort of in cryo, John's and Flynn's before. All right, where do you want to use the motion tracker?
Yeah, that's the idea. Reed leading. I'll be right behind with the motion tracker.
Okay. Go ahead and make a supply roll to see if you lose any power from it.
Where's my character sheet? So does it start at 5?
Yep.
Okay, so let me update that.
Oh yeah. Actually, a bio break here. We'll have you make the roll. And then we can take a quick bio break. Yep, you're not going to lose it. If you notice, up here is where you see the blip.
Okay.
And it seems to be moving away from you. Do we want to go ahead and take a bio break? Hey, well, it's about 5 minutes? Or people need 5, 10? All right, sounds good. See y'all in a bit. 10? So, 7, well, we'll get back at 8 o'clock.
Sounds good. All right.
Hey, hey. Right. Let me do this. Okay. We're back. So, do we want to? I'm going to read is down here. Are Cham and Rye also climbing down the ladder?
Yes, although
Yes.
yeah, we were going to stay in the one team. Yeah.
Yes, the captain asked us to.
Okay. Hawaiian pizza. Anybody here live on the East Coast? I lived in New Jersey for 3 years, and I did not like East Coast pizza. And it was an argument until a friend of mine came back here for another friend of ours who was getting married. And he had Monocle's pizza, which is my favorite, which is the one I got today. And after we had it, he's like, "No, I understand. I get why you like this. This is pretty damn good." So that's the only at that point is the only time I was ever not alone in the fight when we would argue about pizza.
I've had good pizza on both coasts in Canada.
Canada. Yeah, I'm Central Illinois. I like Chicago style deep dish, but it's not my favorite. All right, so at this point we have got Cham and Rye. If we want to move you down to Deck C, you get the blip that's up here, and it looks like I think Wilson, were you two headed towards the science labs on Deck B?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So we'll say down there, you get that blip. It's up there and moving away from you.
I think we'll follow it. Attempting to be somewhat quiet. Not just storming down the catwalk yelling at it, but
Go get you.
but yeah, we'll pursue it. Reed in the front, with Miller, I think, as second with the motion tracker and service pistol, and then Galen, Cham, y'all are, I guess, like kind of right behind that, and Davis is somewhere in all that as well.
I'm assuming Davis is probably not way out there in front, like you
No.
are right now. I'll be
Davis
the
is
bait.
probably in between the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you've got Reed kind of out front, and you're heading down the catwalk. Okay. At one point, she just sort of like looks back and turns, and there's just sweat standing out on her forehead, and goes, "How do I know you're not infected? How do I know you're not going to turn into one of those things?"
Reed, we took the inoculant. We all took it, and we're all on the same side here. We're all looking to get out of this in one piece. And if this is relevant, I'll use my command ability. It seems like she's kind of panicking.
A little bit. I would say, like, actually, how many people took the inoculant? Okay.
I did.
Yeah. Was there anybody? So everyone right now took the inoculant. So you're okay. Okay.
As far as we know.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. What's your command ability again?
Well, so I have a command talent, but I thought I had read just like the command skill in general can be used to stop panic.
Yeah. If you want to make that roll.
Yeah. Is anybody able to help, or want to help in this scenario?
All right. What would they do to? If someone has an idea of what you're doing to relax. As yeah, she seems fairly like a little bit freaking out a bit.
Okay, so sounds like no modifier.
I'm gonna say that you fought and lived this long, and we've just got here. We're depending on you. So there's not a chance that we would be trying to get infected. We're depending on you to keep us from getting that way.
All right, go ahead and make your roll. You get a +1 for the help.
Okay. Well, 2 success on the panic dice.
Okay.
Then I have a lot of panic.
Yeah, there's a thing where she just, and she just sort of like looking all at you, goes, okay, just you didn't see what happened, and she turns around. Go ahead and make your panic roll. You start to tremble uncontrollably. Any skill rolls using agility will have a -2 until your panic stops.
Okay.
So until you've got some time to essentially like relax a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she starts kind of heading her way. Whoop, let me read. Heading her way up. She kind of gets outside that door. She turns and kind of looks back. Because this hallway swings around, but it also they can get up into the ventilation systems. Once it goes there, it can go kind of all over the ship.
Well, then let's hope we can get it before it gets into that system. Has the ping on the motion tracker changed at all?
You want to go ahead and use it again? Go ahead and make a supply roll. All right, go ahead and just reduce the supply by 1.
Okay.
Right now, it's in the junction C1.
Okay. I'm gonna get on the comms and radio to Wilson and say, hey, this thing might be moving up to B deck. Are you secure in the armory?
Haven't we already seen this? Well, let's see. Hold on. Can I get back on the comms? Where are the comms?
You've got it in your suit, in the compression suit.
Oh, okay. Then hasn't this thing already broken through one door?
Well, it takes a minute, I think. Better than being out in the open.
Okay. So it's in junction 1, heading up.
Right now, it's in that junction, but you don't necessarily know where it's headed yet.
Yeah.
Well, I care if it's headed up.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. They can't tell from the detection because at that moment it stops appearing on the motion, but that means it's not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're heading for junction 2, so that because we're completely unarmed. Johns and Flynn should probably also head for junction 2.
Chan will backtrack and go up towards junction 2 to sort of make sure that people get there and provide cover if something comes too close.
Yeah, you may turn around the catwalk and then head up.
Yeah.
All right. And you do a thing for Flynn and Johns to also go there?
Well, they're further away. Maybe. So you're armed, right? I don't know what you have. If we meet, in junction 2, why don't we head up to A deck so that Johns and Flynn aren't, defenseless?
Oh, you mean Cam? Yeah. Jan rather, yes. Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
All right. So the three, do you wait for Cham to meet you and then you all head up? Or do you head straight up? Okay.
If you're going to continue to where it's at the junction, may I suggest I go up the stairwell? Just so.
Oh. So you mean, it's if we're going to continue up to A deck, we would use, instead of the junction 2, use the stairwell? Is that what you're saying?
There's stairs on C to B as well.
Oh yeah, there is. Oh, you could continue up as well. Yes.
Yeah. Kayla, what if you tried rushing ahead up the stairwell? That way, if it tries going up C1, maybe you can flush it back down.
Yep.
All right, so let me.
And Reed and I are gonna keep advancing on C1.
Okay, so
Hope we catch it unaware. You're muted.
so just double check here. We got Reed and Miller heading up C1. Where are other people at? So we've got Wilson, Chan, and Clayton meeting at C2 and then heading up to A deck. What about Davis and Rye?
Rye is going to head up the stairwell, which is just south of the C1.
Do you want to ping it for me? Just hold the click on it. Okay, yes, okay. You're going there, and then Davis.
Yeah, I think that Davis is probably sticking with somebody who has weapons.
Which could be with this group. Okay, so you're with Miller and Reed.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So with Kayla Rye, are you heading up the stairs there, or is Reed and them kind of come into that hallway?
Yeah.
Or,
I'm gonna try to head up the stairs as they take the T, basically T junction the other way.
okay. Yeah. Reed comes out and checks the T, and there's sort of nothing there. And then Reed has come around here so that she's got like a gun. Like the door itself is still closed, but she's got a gun pointed that direction. Sort of looks over at Vanessa. Sweat still standing on her forehead.
Yeah, and I'll head up the stairs.
You go up to V deck.
And Miller says over the comms to Kayla, she says, "Okay, we're just outside of C1. Let us know when you're in position at the top of junction B1, and then we're gonna flush C1. If you see it come up, just try and flush it back down with your shotgun. Hopefully we'll catch it in between. Just watch the crossfire."
Okay. Now, is there these doors? Is there a way to get them? Like, are they motion or are they manual?
A lot of them in motion. You know, some
Right
of them you
now?
come up and you hit a thing and a plate and it'll open up.
All right.
Yeah. So Kayla, looks like you're going to junction B1.
I'm just gonna go to like basically the doorway
Okay. So are you like the south
so that
or
I
the?
can shoot at it.
Wait, so you go in the south doorway
Yeah,
or the?
like the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as that sort of happens, Reed just like looks over at both Vanessa and Davis, and her eyes have kind of gone a little bit wild. And she swings, like she actually swings her rifle like it's a club to sort of get you to like drive you back a bit. What do you do? Like you see her eyes are just starting to go like a little wild at this point. You also notice like a bit of a rash that has appeared on her.
Oh, God dang it. Vanessa just like takes a step back, kind of like puts a hand there. So, Reed, are you with me? Are you here?
At which point, this just sort of roar of rage comes at her, and she again like swings it wide like a club. She's trying to strike you with it. Um, let me. Oh, why did that not work how I wanted it? With this over here. Ace dice. All right, if you want to make a close combat roll to see if you want to stop her from like basically just like striking you in the chest with the butt of the rifle. Yeah, I would say make your panic roll. You do succeed. Yeah,
Wait, what
with
was my earlier panic? It was about agility based, right? And this is strength based.
yeah, I think it's close combat strength.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so
Yeah.
that doesn't apply here. Okay, so panic roll.
Yeah, you're able to stop yourself from taking damage. Yeah, the tremble continues. At this point, it's just, hits. How do you die? Like what do you do when she swings at you so you're not like getting hit?
I think it's just like still like pressing back down the hallway that we just came up,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, stepping further back, maybe even bumping into Davis as I am now kind of retreating backwards.
And when you look at her, you notice her skin itself is going a little pale. Yeah, Davis, what do you do?
Yeah, I think Davis says, "Yeah, Captain, I don't think she's with us anymore. But she's been beginning to look like that other thing that was in the that I came across earlier. I think now might be a good time to either use your weapon or make our exit."
All right, I'm gonna attempt one more vocal command to reach through, and I will use my command talent this time.
I'm gonna say as you look her in the eye, what you're seeing is she's not there anymore.
Okay.
Like when you're looking in her eyes, you've seen people in like rages before, where it's just like words are not going to reach them. Like this what this thing is doing to her means she can't hear you.
Dang it. Okay. Okay. Then yeah. I'll tell Davis to watch out and get the gun from her if you get the chance. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to fire on her.
Okay.
This is not what we need right now. So do we need to do initiative, or is that just like ranged combat?
For the purpose we're doing right here, we're not going to make it an initiative thing. You can just go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. Well.
I would say make. You're going to seek cover. Your next action. Oh, actually, the other thing here, you're going to fire until you are out of bullets.
Well, crap.
Your next action must be to move away from danger. Do you have any reloads?
It just says service pistol.
Yeah, you don't have a reload on you.
Okay.
Yeah, you fire so you're out of bullets. Davis, what do you do when you say like, just the firing and she's like, ah! Ah! And she starts to scream?
Yeah, I think Davis is going to dash away and just kind of assume that the captain's following me because, like, I don't think that I'm going to be much help here.
And Rye, you hear this from below.
Captain, everything okay down there?
This probably comes through all the suits, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You just hear Champ say, well, what's happening down there? Report. Someone report.
And you get like a real shaky response. Reed's lost it. Reed's gone.
I yell, there was gunfire. I'm coming down.
If you want to make a mobility roll, you could go down that thing quickly enough to hit her in the doorway, if you need to.
Okay. That'll do it.
Yeah, if you want to get down there enough, you actually, because as she's in the thing, you start to see like a little bit of a rip appear like on the elbow of the suit that she's wearing. She's like swinging the thing like a club. Are you opening fire on her?
Yeah, I'll hit her with the shotgun.
All right, make your roll.
Success.
All right. Yeah, I'm assuming, are you doing extra damage with that, or there are, so with range combat, oh shit, let me hit the skills.
If possible, I'd honestly like to disarm her.
Which it's hard to do with the shotgun. What you're able to do with those, for every extra when you roll, you can inflict one more point of damage, you can pin down the enemy, you can position yourself to exchange your initiative score, they can drop the weapon or handheld option. Yeah, you want to hit for the damage and then to have her drop the thing that she's got. How much damage does shotgun do?
3.
3. So for Reed, yeah, as it hits her and like she's bloodied from it, not dead though, but like she drops the rifle that she had. It falls to the ground. She kind of turns towards you.
The shotgun has a bonus of 2. Should I have added 2 dice?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and roll 2 more dice. We just want to hit base dice in 2. Yeah, if you hit base dice, it'll ask you how many, and then just make that 2.
And that should be in the top
No
middle
difference.
of the sheet. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as she like goes against the wall, the thing falls. And she's looking at you, and you just see again like just the color is draining out of her as she's turning sort of bone white, and you see her face start to expand some in there. Well, we know Vanessa Miller has to rush for cover. What are Leah and Kayla doing?
I'm going to tell Leah to grab the gun.
Yeah, I think that she's gonna give it a shot.
Make a mobility roll to get in there and grab it.
All right.
Yeah, you manage to scramble in and kind of grab it because like, her attention right now is on Kayla. So Kayla, what do you do?
Do I have to, with the shotgun, how many shots do I have?
Basically, until you roll a face hugger, that's when your ammo is depleted. That's what reloads are for.
Just because I know I got that box as well from
Yeah,
Wilson, so I wasn't sure
that's one
how
extra
many more
reload.
reloads I had.
Yeah, so that'll be if you didn't already have one reload written down, that'll be one reload. Yeah, so she's looking at you and what do you do?
Shoot again, unfortunately.
All right,
There's Space Ogre.
So, so two things here. I mean, that hit'll kill her. That'll take her out. None of the other ones really make a difference if you spend the other one. That makes you out of ammo, but go ahead and make a panic roll. And then let's pop up to B deck after A deck after that, or back of B deck. All right, yeah, you hold your shit together. It just sort of hits, and it hits the ground. But you are currently out of ammunition. So Wilson, you hear gunshots coming from deeper into the ship. Clayton looks at you and goes, "If they don't make it, the important thing is not they make it. The important thing is that we do, and we get those samples." And if there's anybody who you think can be brought over with money, you've got a lot.
Just a point of order. Would Cham would they be having this conversation away from Cham, or?
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Cham, yeah, she would probably say this while you two are heading down there. But then as you run into Cham, the three of you,
Yeah.
she would not say this in front of Cham.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably saying this on the way there as you hear some of the shots. Because that all happened relatively quickly. But then the three of you meet at, unless you say something to her, the three of you will meet at the junction.
Yeah. I mean, right now, what weapon does Cham has? The flamer,
Incinerator and laser cutter.
Incinerator. Do you have two weapons?
I do. One's more of a tool, and the other like has very low power left. The other one is like actually has ammunition. So
okay.
I'm gonna refill. I can hear you.
So Cham's just gonna like. Cham's sort of agitated. I think he's like gonna just sort of hang around by the ladder that goes down into the junction itself, and just sort of keep looking around until someone walks up to him. So and then sort of like anxiously keep talking over comms, being like, "What's happening? What's happening down there? I heard shotgun shells."
Well, they had to kill the Marine.
I would say at this point, they're not going to have enough time necessarily because this is all happening while you're up there. Because something is going to happen.
Okay.
Something's going to happen down there in a little bit.
You don't say.
Let's hope they've got that handled, and let's head up to group up with Johns and Flynn, and I will point at the tool and weapon that you have and say, Dave, actually carry one of those.
Sure. Look, this thing. Look, and I'll hold up the laser cutter. This thing's almost useless. It's got like 2 cells left. The flamethrower is better, and I think that's actually like considered a melee weapon still. So by all means, you take it, but unless you've got like heavy machinery as a skill, I bet they'll say that. But, yeah,
Right.
It's pretty useless unless you've actually got that, and the incinerator is a better weapon. So by all means, take it, but I don't know how much good it's going to do you right now. If this thing gets close enough, by the sounds of it, this could rip through a door with a few hits. So I don't know. Like I don't want to be any closer to it, to be honest. Like this thing feels completely useless.
Well, better than nothing.
So I'll hand over the laser cutter to Wilson. Last line of defense, I guess.
So what is it? It's a laser cutter.
Yeah. So if you open up the close combat, it's cutting torch technically. Yeah.
Oh, cutting torch.
So really, like, it's actually quite small. So cutting torch, damage 3, engaged 1, armor piercing though. No, that's interesting. So that's quite useful against these things then, because that thing, even that tiny thing that came out of that other fella, that thing had like little plates and stuff on it and seemed quite tough. So where was the other bit though?
And Laura, I put the stats for the pulse rifle in the chat for you. On the bottom of your character sheet, there's a place for weapons.
Question, Michael.
Yep.
What on the stats for the incinerator, it says fire intensity +9, or is it 9? Fire intensity 9. What does that refer to?
Let me double check.
Just in its comments.
Fuel canister, blah, 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 civilian. Yeah, basically, a target hit by an incinerator unit also catches fire. Page 108. So yeah, not only does it do like the damage when you first hit it, but then it has an intensity 9 fire that it puts on somebody, and that means that it's a typical fire is intensity 8. This is a little higher than that. You roll a number of base dice equal to the intensity. For every hit rolled, you suffer 1 point of damage. Armor can protect you. If you take damage, you catch fire and continue to burn. The intensity increases by 1 each round. As soon as it inflicts no damage, it goes out. So essentially, like what an incinerator can do is seriously knock you on your ass. But like the moment something doesn't do damage, it goes out. Otherwise, it just keeps getting more powerful.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
Like because it's got that original damage 2, and then it sets them on fire. So they keep taking damage with 9 base dice after that.
That's powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, you hear from above Johns and Flynn going, shit, you find another one? Like, this isn't good.
Yeah, this isn't good. Was Reed? I think. Yeah, so I'll ask if it comes. Was Reed inoculated?
Yeah, I mean, everyone took the inoculation except for Cooper.
Shit.
Their eyes go wide.
Yeah. I mean, what should we be doing here?
And John's John's and Flynn just look at you, and Flynn's like, I mean, oh God, you took the inoculation too, right? I mean, I'm feeling okay. He just sort of looks as how's everyone else feeling? Like I haven't. Nothing seems to be happening.
So Cham's gonna like head up to deck A and just sort of like give them both a bit of a once over look.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, as you sort of look over and like they actually seem like they're pretty good as you kind of take a quick look. Let's go back down to our the people who were just in the firefights. You hear from Kayla. You hear from behind you this And in the hallway behind you, the abomination has kind of made its way there, and it's got like the limbs are elongated. The head itself has been like almost stretched out of proportion as it makes its way down the hallway. So everyone who's down there, if you want to do a very quick initiative, use the dice because the card thing does not seem to be working. I would love it if it did.
Everyone?
Yeah, for everyone who's downstairs who just was in the fight with, you just hit initiative dice. Oh, I gotta have a token. Let me try this. Oh, that's right. I have to get another one. That one was an 8. I'm gonna use my first 2 rolls. I just gotta put them because it gets 2 of them. A 9 and a 5.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't have mine highlighted, so I didn't put it in the tracker.
Yeah, so if you just want to like hit it again, but then you can just replace it with the one that you originally did. So 9 and a 5 were the 2 I originally rolled, or we could probably do this too. So for Miller, add turn. Oh, sorry, get rid of that. Let me just go ahead. We just right click, add turn. Reed is dead. Where is Kayla's? Oh, right. Yeah, so if you just want to put in what initiative rolled into the turn order. Laura, you got a 6. Here for Davis, and then Kayla, did you roll?
I did, but for some reason it doesn't appear to be showing up any.
I would check and maybe move your character sheet and see if a modifier thing appeared underneath it. Which I don't think it did. I don't think it did for me. I might click it again and see what happens.
Hot tip. If you double click the bar at the top of the character sheet where it says the character's name, it will also minimize to a ghost on the map.
Okay. Let us. All right. So it is going to go first. So for it, as it sort of comes out there, it goes, whoa, and lets out this gigantic roar. All 3 of you make a panic roll. Whoa. Okay, what's going to happen? Caleb, you get a nervous twitch, which means that your stress level and the stress level of any friendly PCs in short range, basically everyone's stress level increases by 1. Leah, you drop the rifle. When you hear that, it kind of falls to the ground at your feet. And then Vanessa, you give a scream. This entire round, you're screaming. You lose your slow action. You can make a fast, if you want to run, you can. Your stress is decreased by 1. Everyone else's goes up, actually, nobody else has to make a panic roll because they've already made one. Yeah, but your stress level goes down by 1. So the next one is Rye. Rye, what do you do?
Okay, so this thing's behind me.
Yep.
I'm going to back towards Davis to try and get more room between me and it, and fire. I guess I have to reload. To reload.
You have to reload.
Yep. So I guess that will be me moving away and reloading.
So your faction actions to move it. Your other ones are So if you want to move yourself into the hallway, you can basically switch your zone you're in. Then it goes to Davis.
Can I pick up the rifle?
Yeah, if you kind of like scramble to pick it up.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try to take a shot if I can.
Okay, let me double check. I believe picking it up feels like it's a fast action. Um, yeah, we'll figure draw weapon and hit the ground as you grab it. And if you want to, yeah, make yourself an attack. Yeah, I mean, essentially everyone's sort of up in this area. Right.
What do I roll for that?
Go hit ranged combat, and you will have, what's the bonus that I put down there earlier? Was it 1 or 2? Plus
2.
1. Plus 1 bonus and 2 damage.
Oh, wait, for the rifle, yeah.
Yeah, so when it gives a modifier, just put a 1. Wait, that was just. Oh, you have a 0? Wait,
What?
that didn't come out right. Is that your Because there was no base dice on that.
No. Hold on. Let me retry that.
You should, yeah, you should have 7 base dice and then 5.
Okay. Range combat.
That's bizarre.
Submit.
You already rolled your panic dice, so let's go ahead and keep those with without the face hugger.
Okay.
So, yeah, you hit it with 2. Is your thing? It's armor piercing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to increase what is your base damage?
My base damage for the rifle.
Yeah, I think is it 2?
It's 2 damage, yeah.
But your armor piercing?
Yeah.
Okay, which means it is going to. It's not going to have all of its normal armor. All right, so you are hitting it for. Do you want to use that extra one to do extra damage?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so 3 points. It does not manage to soak it all. As if you hit it, and then like this greenish blood scatters around. However, it is not. This is not a xenomorph, so it's not hitting with acid as it strikes. But it has been hurt for 3 points.
Yay.
Miller, you are screaming, or is it, yeah, screaming on this one? Do you want to move somewhere? You have a slow action still.
I lost my slow action.
I'm sorry, you have a fast action, and fast actions are things like movement is one of those. Run, move through door hatch, get up, draw weapon, block attack, pick up item, retreat, aim carefully.
Yeah, so I've got an empty service pistol, so that's not going to do me any good. I'm going to stick with the let's panic and run game plan.
If you want to move one zone, it's actually you can move into one of the hallways that are south of you.
Yeah, I'm going to move into this like hallway that's on the western side.
All right, yeah, you haul ass and run. It is going to fist strike. It strikes its victim with a powerful punch, so it rushes forward. And Kayla's probably still in the closest place for it. Actually, yeah, because it can move the zone and then attack, which means it'll roll its 10 base dice, damage 1. So as it comes forward, it's gonna like hit you hard in the chest for 4 points of damage. Which I think you are probably one of two characters who can survive that. Because don't you have like a 5 strength?
Yeah, something like close to that. Anyway.
So you are actually still got one health.
So do I get any way of defending that, or?
Oh yeah, shit. I'm sorry. That was make your close combat roll.
It's taking forever to go through.
Weird. It happened the other day too. All right, you're going to be able to knock it down by 2. You probably have no armor on you, is my guess.
I don't think so.
Do the compression suits have armor, like our actual suits?
But double check real quick. Or well, you get one of two things. You can either, for each one you roll, you choose one of the effects. You either decrease the damage by 1, or you can perform a counterattack dealing damage to the attacker equal to the damage rating of your weapon. So you could with one of those you could reduce it by 1. The other one you could attack with your weapon, which would do the base damage. You have the shotgun.
Yeah, I do.
The suits and armor. Oh, sorry. Compression suits have an armor of 2. You want to make a note of that. So if you want to roll 2 more base dice.
Okay. Just lost connection to the Roll20 server.
Damn it! Roll 20.
Got one more.
All right, one more. Yeah. So if you want, basically, you can soak. You can either soak 3 points of the 4 coming at you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Or if you also want to use one of those, you'll soak 1 less point of damage, but you'll also be able to counterattack with your weapon.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. What is the base damage of the counterattack of the weapon?
It's 3.
3. And is that armor piercing?
No, it's not.
It's a shotgun. Is that armor doubling?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. It'll still take 2 points. As you make your panic roll, this is not going to take out your thing. As you hit it, it takes a chunk out of it, but it's still going. You make the panic roll, but it's not going to take care of your ammunition because you weren't firing as you made the roll. Nervous stretch. Your stress level and everyone else's stress level around you, which will be everyone except for Vanessa. I believe Leah actually goes up by 1.
Yay for running.
So we go back to the head around.
What happens when you max out your stress?
I don't think that actually is not technically a max on stress. As it tries to attack you again. As it rushes forward to attack, it's got 6 points coming your way if you want to make a close combat roll.
Sorry, who's making the close combat roll?
That's Kayla. Kayla's the one that's in the hand-to-hand with it.
Me.
And then you also get to roll the 2 for the armor, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So your thing is, if you reduce that by 3, I think it still kills you.
Yep.
Do you also want to do damage to it with the fire by doing counterattack?
Might as well while I'm going out.
Yeah, so as it comes forward, it just grabs you, and there's another character you'll be able to take over in a moment. It kind of grabs you and up against the wall real hard as you fire into it. It's looking haggard, but it's not quite out. And I will say, Leah, go ahead and add 1 stress from watching Rye get killed in front of you. And what do you do? You're next. Oh, Leah, what do you do?
Sorry, was that me? My audio went out for a second.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Can I take another shot at it?
Yeah, make your roll.
Cool. All right.
And what'd you get?
So I think I got 2 hits on the yellow die and then 1 face hugger on the yellow die.
All right. You hit it.
Stress, right?
Yeah, I was make a panic roll. You hit it. It actually is able. It's enough. Well, actually, we'll make your roll real quick. Yours is armor piercing, right?
Yeah.
It's only got 1 die, so there's no way it's going to actually be able to. As it, and also you're out of ammunition. If you want to make a note of that, it hits the ground and it is dead.
Yay.
What'd you get for your panic roll?
11.
Yeah, you also they're going to seek cover after that.
All right.
We're going to pop over to the other people real quick. I will say this. I am going to. Oh, let me do this. So for Kayla, Terry, you are going to further back in that junction, and I've actually got to create the character sheet for her. The ship's synth. If you notice, there's a thing. There'll be one that says Ava under character for Kronos. Oh, and let me also get this for you. The sounds will awaken you as you will sort of wake up with some damage. You've woken up as the Kronos' synth. Up top, we've got Cham and Wilson. Wilson, as all of this is going on, you as basically Cham, you're checking them over to see if they've got anything going on with them.
Just like a quick visual inspection. I probably would have like a conversation with them as well, like, or I'll just try and ask. I suppose. Are we? So at this point, Cham and Wilson are aware that like Reed is like turned a bit, and yeah, sure. So like, so Flynn, I'll sort of address it to Flynn and Johns, but really I'm expecting an answer from Flynn. Like, what happens exactly? Like, what's the process that these changes occur? Like,
They just go, well, some saw like a rash at first, and I mean some of them would alter and change into those like these white skin things, and others would have stuff like Cooper's the thing kind of pop out of them. And at this point, John, did you see the thing I opened up for you in Act 1 agenda? in here. I think that was the wrong. Okay. John, if you notice the thing I opened for you, like you'll notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. As they start talking, like you're not that point yet, but you kind of notice the rash as they're telling you. They're just like the rash. They would start to become like just impossible to talk to. Like they would go kind of a bit crazy. And the one thing with and so John, if you notice the rash there, the one thing is it doesn't mean you're going to change. It just means you're a little more aggressive. There is a roll a little bit later on to see if you actually fight it off. Yeah, as you sort of notice that rash. John and Flynn's look fine as you look them over. You're not seeing any sort of things on them, Cham.
Okay, well that's good. All right. So Cham's just going to continue like being a bit more like feeling super anxious, like what's happening right now. And at what point do we like hear like the rest of these gunshots that this?
Yeah, I would say there's probably those other series of gunshots. What do you all do?
We should get down there.
Right.
We should probably go towards junction 1 and go down, or even the stairwell.
Okay. You all rush over. Or I'm assuming you do. Wilson, do you also as well?
I mean, I'm assuming.
Yeah. As you all rush kind of up there, they're probably going to run into Miller first.
So if I move.
Because you're the one running.
Yeah. So Jan will probably run down the stairwell. Because it's quicker to run that way, I'm guessing. So he'll run up through the cryo chambers and then down the stairwell to deck B, and then to deck C as quickly as he can get.
Okay.
I mean, I think Wilson will let him go ahead and we'll stop at deck B and try to grab Flynn. Stop him as well.
Okay. And then Leah, you are going to see probably Ava, now played by Terry, walk out of that sort of back area where you were at. You want to just give me? I'm going to be AFK for just a second. I'll be able to hear you. But looking at that, do you have any questions about Ava? Looking over hers.
Can I get a token?
Oh, let me actually let me pull up that thing and grab one. Ava should be up the top. There we go. And like the back of your head is like, cause you basically what had happened was you like the creatures themselves kind of ignore you because you smell a little bit off. But you had gotten into a fight with one of them, and that had like slammed you against it, and your head had taken some damage, and you have been kind of offline for quite some time. This kind of brought you back on. So I'm gonna be away from the keyboard real quick. I will be able to hear. Ava will be able to kind of like walk out where Leah can see her, where we've got Rye's body there on the ground. Just a sec. What do you do?
How may I help you?
Who are you? Where'd you come from? What?
I just came back online. I'm the synth for this ship.
Right. Cool. Yeah, well, it's nice to see you. I kind of gesture at the body on the ground, and I'm like, we've run into some issues, as you can see.
That is very unfortunate. I would like to protect you from having that happen to you.
Thank you. That's very nice. I'm assuming you know the ship pretty well.
Of course. Is there somewhere you would like me to lead you to?
You know, I'm thinking about just getting out of this general vicinity. This seems to be a hot spot for aliens.
Okay. And I'll follow me, and I'll start leading you to the closest and fastest way. Are you wanting to go up or down? I'm assuming that I can't actually sense them, right?
Wait, sense the aliens?
Yeah.
No, it's just they kind of ignore you because you just sort of come off as a bit different.
So is Ava an android? Is that what?
Yeah, is it bad? A synth.
Okay.
And where did John's character go? I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you just ran.
Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think actually the stairwell empties out into that same hallway, so they wouldn't run into Miller. I think Miller like just went running, and if this area is open, she would have run into this cargo office and just started hiding in there.
Yeah, I think Davis might try to make contact. Just say like, Captain, where did you go?
You hear me?
And there's like this long moment before Miller comes back on the comms and says, I couldn't be any help.
Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah. My regular mic just popped out for some reason. However, I've got a webcam. I use its mic, so.
So I have a quick
All right.
question.
Yes.
Did Wilson and Clayton and Flynn and Johns follow Chan down, or
They would
did
have.
they go down a? Did they go down a different path though? Like,
Well,
Took the stairwell down to deck B.
yep, sure, okay, cool.
and the NPCs
And-
would follow you.
hmm
And Wilson and Clayton are trying to hang back and to stop Flynn and let you and Johns go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, they sort of hold back with Flynn, or with Flynn. All right, so Cham and so it sounds like probably going to be Cham. Cham and Johns are going to miss Miller.
Possibly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, we'll go down. I'll take the wrong way. Down, Chan will go down to deck C and see Rise body.
Yep.
And I think if Leah's still there, then yeah, Chem will, what's the word? Chem will start sort of like getting emotional and start getting a bit upset because like Ra was like the only other person who did all the manual labor on the Montero. So like they were buddies to some degree, but yeah, he's not really coping very well.
Yeah, I think Davis might say, get a hold of yourself. We gotta get through this, and we need your head on straight.
Are these your friends?
Who's
Yes.
this?
And then I'll look to see some of the other group.
Yeah, and then Johns will be like, Ava, you made it.
Yes.
This is our
Um,
synth.
All right.
The infestation seems to ignore me for the most part.
Well, that'll be useful if we have to repair the reactor. And at that point, I think Jen will notice that Wilson has not followed them.
And let's pop
Slow
over
them down.
Wilson. Wilson, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need to Flynn. We need to show you something and take him into the corporate suite.
And he's just like, what? He's a little confused as you pull him in there. What do you do?
God, do I still have? I know I had a med kit at some point, but I think maybe I used all that up. I'm trying to remember. I didn't write that down. God, how do I talk him into just getting into the cryopod?
Could be command. Could be what else do you have?
Well,
or could also like what do you say to him? Because he has an agenda as well that I've got. If it fits up with that, he might be like, fuck yeah.
I mean, manipulation is what I'm good at.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I'm just trying to think, well, what's the lie or what's the I think I tell him that this infection that's aboard this research vessel, it's actually spread among the colonies, and his knowledge is needed, and he needs to survive this. We're getting him out. We're getting him out of here.
Make your manipulation roll. Yeah, it made it out among the colonies. Oh God. Yeah, I've got information we found out. Because the cure uses some of the black goo that we found that seems to have caused some of this. But the people, if Cooper didn't take it, what happened to Cooper is not the same thing that happened to some of the other people on board. I was gonna go, why does? Oh God. It didn't happen to everybody who took the inoculation, but some of the other people took the inoculation. They turned into those things. There's white-skinned abominations of. And then Clayton's just like, we can get you safe in here. We can leave if we need to. And the two of you actually managed to get him into the cryopod, and he's just like, and she just turns to you and she's like, we got this, we've got the information, we get our samples. That's all we're going to need.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get out of here.
All right, this sounds like a good place for, unless someone want to do something for sort of, one would be end of Act 3, which means we could look at, did you do something towards your Act 2 goals, agenda, or if anybody wanted to do something before sort of end of session.
I was hoping to get to use. You can use your signature item once per act, right?
Yeah, if you want to take a moment just to just to recenter yourself. Yeah, it sounds like you're in a good place where you can use that to like. What do you do?
Vanessa's signature item is her Wayland Yutani patch on her jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like ran for cover into this cargo office area, and is just sort of curled up in the corner, sitting there, holding herself and thinking. But then she sees the patch on the jacket and remembers that, like, okay, this is some weird shit going on right now, but it's gonna get better. We're gonna get through this. I'm gonna get paid for this. There's got to be some hazard pay for all this crap going on, and then I'm gonna get my own ship. And I'm gonna get out of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna be my own boss, like I always wanted to be.
All right, go ahead. Reduce your stress by 1. Anybody else do something with their the thing that they've got to help reduce stress?
I don't think I would do that. Like if we're closing on the closing scene of this act, are we still in Act 2? Yes.
This was going to be end of Act 2.
All right. Yeah. The last thing you see Cham doing in Act 2 is bolting back up the stairs.
I think Davis has probably realized that her pills have gone missing.
Yep.
And so I think that she's going to try to find some replacements. I'm assuming that would be like in the med bay or something.
Possibly, you might be heading towards the med bay when you realize, oh shit, I dropped my pills.
Could you all stop moving around? I can't keep track of you this way.
Yeah, and Ava, as a synth, does not take stress. It cannot push rolls, but never takes stress. All right, so how many people had done something to advance your agenda for Act 2? If you have, give yourself a story point. What that will do is it then gives you a complete reroll, which can also include facehuggers during the session. And the rerolls actually follow players and not characters. So, like, if Kayla had done stuff to go towards her Act 2 agenda, Ava will have will get an extra point. And those, if you did not use your story point, that continues. So Ava would actually have probably what, 2?
Ava would have 1. Kayla didn't do really it this time because I was about to, if I had survived, because I would have, because with Miller having ran away, I would have been turning to Davis and said, let's collect what we can and figure out a way off of this ship.
Okay, yeah. Didn't kind of have time. And so Ava has her agenda sort of on her sheet, and I'll fill in the actual character sheet stuff before next game. And everyone else, you should have your Act 3 agenda now open. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Act 3 for Miller.
Oh, let me check. Miller. Did I open that to the wrong person? Oh wait, that's. Oh, here we go. Okay, there's a John C. who I think was someone who played in a different game. There we go. Is it there now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've filled in a lot of Ava's stuff already for you.
Oh, excellent. Mm-hmm. I realized I literally had all the other characters from the Chronos down here, except for some reason, except for Ava, which I have no idea why. Do we want to do Stars and Wishes for that last session?
Sure.
So I know I'm very much hoping to see Wilson be able to kind of like break open the things that you want to do next time. Like I think we're in a position now where there's a little bit of breathing room after what's happened, which I think will open you up quite a bit. And I love the fact that Vanessa's like, nope, screw this, run. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, now know why Kayla actually hates you. You give these orders, put her in danger, and then leave.
Yeah. I suppose I'll go first for Stars and Wishes.
All right.
Well, I think everyone gave a really good performance this session. I would like to give a particular start to Lara for jumping in and handling stuff pretty well. I also think, Brian, you handled Wilson in particular quite well this session. So I think, just judging from the meta-narrative, I suppose, things are going pretty well for Wilson at the moment. Wishes, I would like to see things come to fruition next session.
Cool. Anybody want to?
I guess I can go next. If you want? I actually thought overall everyone was much more familiar with their characters, and the whole role-playing aspect was a lot more there for everyone's characters. Yeah, and Laura, you definitely did a good job of jumping in there right away. And as far as Wishes, I'm just hoping I get to play Ava a little till the end, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, anybody else want to pick up?
I can go next. Stars. I think everyone did a great job playing tonight. Had a lot of fun with y'all. Also, for the system itself, I am not a real big kind of crunchy game type person, but I feel like this has enough to it that it's interesting without being overbearing necessarily. I like that blocking action where it's like, oh, okay, you can either reduce it damage or you can make a counter attack at the same time. Helps things kind of keep moving, and that's fun. Though I think Roll20 is like imposing some artificial slowness with waiting for the rolls to go through. So that would be
noticed that the last week or so. It's been weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm on the same page with everyone else for Wishes. Like I'd like to see some conflict start to boil up and boil over, especially between maybe some of the characters and not just, aliens and trying to eat people.
I can go next. Yeah, stars for everyone. Thank you for being patient with me. This is my first time playing this game or any game like it. It actually kind of reminded me of The Pool, another game, which is like kind of big on like different dice and stuff. And so I thought that was kind of fun. No, but this is great. You guys are awesome. In terms of Wishes, I'm really excited to see Ava in action. I was looking through the rule book and I was like, oh my gosh, there Yes. And so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I just agree with everyone else. I thought everyone did a great job. It really, yeah, everyone's characters just felt like they were out of this universe, these stories, and I don't know. I guess I look forward. I hope Wilson really gets some chances to really screw some people over.
I also want to add a wish. I really hope Wilson gets to use your special talent, where you throw danger at somebody else, which I think is my literal favorite talent I think I've ever seen in a game.
Like right now, Clayton's like the most likely target, but you know, it could be anybody.
All right, anybody else, or are we good for the night?
I'd just like to say thank you, everyone.
I enjoyed it. If you're okay with me posting it, if you want to give it a thumbs up, or if you want to email me, if you're like, yeah, don't do it. Otherwise, I'll probably put it up tomorrow after a game I've got tomorrow morning. Yeah, this time your audio recorded. Last time it did not, which sucked because it's this headset helps in a lot of ways, but the computer does not like to deal with it. I had a ton of fun. I am very much looking forward to that final act, and I will see y'all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye. Have a good night.